Lesson 11 for June 6 to 12, The Bible and Prophecy, read by Dr. Percy Harrold. Tuesday, June 9, Identifying the Little Horn. For centuries, the Protestant reformers identified the little horn power of Daniel 7 and in Daniel 8 as the Roman Church. Why? Question. Read Daniel chapter 7, verses 1 to 25, and Daniel 8, verses 1 to 13. What are the common characteristics of the little horn in both chapters? How can we identify it? Daniel 7, beginning at verse 1. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head while on his bed. Then he wrote down the dream, telling the main facts. Daniel spoke, saying, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of heaven were stirring up the great sea. The four great beasts came up from the sea, each different from the other. The first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. I watched till its wings were plucked off, and it was lifted up from the earth and made to stand on 2 feet like a man, and a man's heart was given to it. And suddenly another beast, a second, like a bear. It was raised up on one side, and had 3 ribs in its mouth, between its teeth. And they said thus to it, Arise, devour much flesh. After this I looked, and there was another like a leopard, which had on its back 4 wings of a bird. The beast also had 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, exceedingly strong. It had huge iron teeth. It was devouring, breaking in pieces, and trampling the residue with its feet. It was different from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. I was considering the horns, and there was another horn, a little one, coming up among them, before whom 3 of the first horns were plucked out by the roots. And there in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking pompous words. I watched till thrones were put in place, and the Ancient of Days was seated. His garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head was like pure wool. His throne was a fiery flame, its wheels a burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. 1,000 thousands ministered to him. 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The court was seated, and the books were opened. I watched then, because of the sound of the pompous words which the horn was speaking. I watched till the beast was slain, and its body destroyed and given to the burning flame. As for the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and a time. I was watching in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man coming with the clouds of heaven. He came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. Then to him was given dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all peoples, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom the one which shall not be destroyed. I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit within my body, and the visions of my head troubled me. I came near to one of those who stood by, and I asked him the truth of all this. So he told me and made known to me the interpretation of these things. Those great beasts which are 4 kings which arise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High shall receive the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Then I wished to know the truth about the 4th beast, which was different from all the others, exceedingly dreadful, with its teeth of iron and its nails of bronze, which devoured, broke in pieces, and trampled the residue with its feet, and the 10 horns that were on its head, and the other horn which came up, before which 3 fell, namely, that horn which had eyes and a mouth which spoke pompous words, whose appearance was greater than his fellows. And I watched, and the same horn was making war against the saints and prevailing against them, until the Ancient of Days came, and a judgment was made in favour of the saints of the Most High, and the time came for the saints to possess the kingdom. Thus he said, The 4th beast shall be a 4th kingdom on earth, which shall be different from all other kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, trample it, and break it in pieces. The 10 horns are 10 kings, who shall arise from this kingdom, and another shall arise after them. He shall be different from the first ones, and shall subdue 3 kings. He shall speak pompous words against the Most High, shall persecute the saints of the Most High, and shall intend to change times and law. Then the saints shall be given into his hand for a time, and times, and half a time. But the court shall be seated, and they shall take away his dominion to consume and destroy it for ever. And Daniel 8, beginning in verse 1. In the 3rd year of the reign of King Belshazzar, a vision appeared to me, Daniel, after the one that appeared to me the first time. I saw in the vision, and it so happened while I was looking, that I was in Shushan, the citadel, which is in the province of Elam, and I saw in the vision that I was by the river Ulai. Then I lifted my eyes and saw, and there standing beside the river was a ram which had 2 horns, and the 2 horns were high, but one was higher than the other, and the higher one came up last. I saw the ram pushing westward, northward, and southward, so that no animal could withstand it. Nor was there any that could deliver from his hand, but he did according to his will, and became great. And as I was considering, suddenly a male goat came from the west, across the surface of the whole earth, without touching the ground, and the goat had a notable horn between his eyes. Then he came to the ram that had 2 horns, which I had seen standing beside the river, and ran to him with furious power. And I saw him confronting the ram. He was moved with rage against him, attacked the ram, and broke his 2 horns. There was no power in the ram to withstand him, but he cast him down to the ground and trampled him. And there was no one that could deliver the ram from his hand. Therefore the male goat grew very great. But when he became strong, the large horn was broken, and in place of it 4 notable ones came up toward the 4 winds of heaven. And out of one of them came a little horn which grew exceedingly great toward the south, toward the east, and toward the glorious land. And it grew up to the host of heaven, and it cast down some of the host and some of the stars to the ground and trampled them. He even exalted himself as high as the prince of the host, and by him the daily sacrifices were taken away, and the place of his sanctuary was cast down. Because of transgression, an army was given over to the horn to oppose the daily sacrifices, and he cast truth down to the ground. He did all this and prospered. Then I heard a holy one speaking, and another holy one said to that certain one who was speaking, How long will the vision be concerning the daily sacrifices, and the transgression of desolation, the giving of both the sanctuary and the host, to be trampled underfoot? There are 7 common characteristics between the little horns of Daniel 7 and 8. Both are described as a horn. That's 1. 2. Both are persecuting powers, as we read in Daniel 7:21 and 25, and Daniel 8, verse 10. But also Daniel 8, verse 24 reads just like this: His power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. He shall destroy fearfully, and shall prosper and thrive. He shall destroy the mighty, and also the holy people. 3. Both are self-exalting and blasphemous, as we read in Daniel 7:8 and 20 and 25, and in Daniel 8 verses 10 and 11 and 25. Both target God's people, number 4, as we read in Daniel 7:25 and Daniel 8 verse 24. And both have aspects, as number 5, of their activity delineated by prophetic time in Daniel 7:25 and Daniel 8 verses 13 and 14. 6. Both extend until the end of time in Daniel 7 verses 25 and 26 and Daniel 8 verses 17 and 19. And 7. Both are to be supernaturally destroyed, as in Daniel 7 verses 11 and 26 and Daniel 8 verse 25. And that reads, Through his cunning he shall cause deceit to prosper under his rule, and he shall exalt himself in his heart. He shall destroy many in their prosperity. He shall even rise against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without human means. History identifies the first kingdom as Babylon, Daniel 2, verse 38. The second as Medo-Persia, Daniel 8, verse 20. Let's read Daniel 2:38 first. And wherever the children of men dwell, or the beasts of the field and the birds of the heaven, he has given them into your hand. Remember, he's talking to Nebuchadnezzar here. And has made you ruler over them all. You are this head of gold. And then Daniel 8:20, the ram which you saw having the two horns, they are the kings of Media and Persia. And the third as Greece, Daniel 8:21, and the male goat is the kingdom of Greece. The large horn that is between its eyes is the first king. History is unequivocal that after these world empires comes Rome. In Daniel 2, the iron representing Rome continues into the feet of iron mixed with clay, that is, until the end of time. The little horn of Daniel 7 comes forth from the fourth beast, but remains part of this fourth beast. What power came out of Rome and continues its politico-religious influence for at least 1,260 years, as we read in Daniel 7:25? Let's read that. He shall speak pompous words against the Most High, shall persecute the saints of the Most High, and shall intend to change times and law. Then the saints shall be given into his hand for a time and times and half a time. Only one power fits history and prophecy: the papacy. The papacy came into power among the 10 barbarian tribes of Europe and uprooted 3 of them, as it said in Daniel 7:24. The papacy was different from the previous ones, it said in Daniel 7:24, indicating its uniqueness compared to the other tribes. The papacy spoke pompous words against the Most High, Daniel 7:25, and exalted himself as high as the prince of the host, Daniel 8:11. by usurping the role of Jesus and replacing it with the Pope. The papacy fulfilled the prediction of persecuting the saints of the Most High, Daniel 7:25, and casting down some of the host, in Daniel 8:10, during the Counter-Reformation, when Protestants were slaughtered. The papacy sought to change times and law, in Daniel 7:25, by removing the second commandment and changing the Sabbath to Sunday. And so to finish today, in Daniel 2, Daniel 7 and Daniel 8, after Greece, one power arises that exists to the end of time. What power could that be other than Rome, now in its papal stage? No matter how politically incorrect, why is this a crucial teaching of the 3 angels' messages, and hence a crucial component of present truth?
Hi there. Thanks for watching this video on the Advent-band Ministries YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to be alerted whenever we upload new videos. So, until we meet him in the clouds, may God continue to bless you.
This lesson was read by Dr. Percy Harrold for Christian Services for the Blind and Hearing Impaired, Christian Record Services for the Blind, the Sabbath School Department, and Hope Channel. You can also listen on the official Sabbath School 4 app and the Apple iTunes app, Sabbath School with Percy Harrold. Remember, God is always faithful.